I don't know about competitive with WWE, but it would have made it a much, much, much better company. I mean, no question about that, because Shane would have broadened the horizons of that company, more of what the casuals wanted and are looking for. And that's why, like, Tony ain't going to go for that.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of the Wrestling Outlaws. The Wrestling Outlaws. I am here with the Outlaws. I mean, hey, man, I came locked and loaded today. EC3, former former TNA
champion. Okay, cool. Whatever.
I'm not going to do that to you. Former WE talent, former TNA two-time heavyweight champion, former NWA world heavyweight champion. That makes him an EC three-time world champion, ladies and gentlemen. Former WCW world heavyweight champion, undefeated against Ric Flair, ladies and gentlemen. Undefeated against Ric Flair, and take that to the bank. Guns out. What do we have? A live exhibition, ladies and gentlemen, of Vince Russo putting deodorant on, ladies and gentlemen. What do we got here? Oh, nice. We got some smell goods there. I've got nothing. I've got coffee tonight. There it goes.
Hey, does that deodorant have aluminum in it, Vince?
No, I'm glad you asked me that, bro, because I'm going to tell you something. It says something about it right here. It says spray deodorant, aluminum free and ideal for hard to reach places, bro.
Nice, wonderful. Well, I'm glad you asked that, EC3. I just recently got on the aluminum free train when it came to deodorant, man. Dub's got some good deodorant, got some good eucalyptus deodorant that's aluminum free, man. It's pretty nice.
What's the aluminum do to you, bro? What's bad about the aluminum?
It clogs up the pores, and then you get the microplastics and stuff going through your bloodstream, and pounds your endocrine system. It makes your testicles become a messicle.
Wow.
Yeah, allegedly.
All because of putting on deodorant, man.
Yeah. I had a meeting yesterday. Get a big group of guys. There's going to be a vision quest I'm going to go do in Oklahoma. So it's like a container of men, and we're all broken, beat up, like a lot of former soldiers, some athletes, and they're getting together and like sweating it out. And I don't know, there might be some plant medicine involved. I don't know if I'm legally allowed to say it, but I don't care. I answer to nobody. But one of the things was they're like, detox your body. And so the guy's like, no more deodorant with aluminum in it. I said, I don't wear deodorant anyways, pal.
There you go.
Yeah. You just kind of free ball it when it comes to deodorant.
I was, when I grew up, a teenager, you go through the hormone changes. Like, I don't want to say it, but I'll say I was a stinky kid for a minute, man. Like, my BO sucked. And it was like sad and made, depressed me. And I was like, there's little 3 over there stinking up the joint. So I started shaving my pits. A, I wanted to be a pro wrestler. B, I thought that would get rid of it, and it did. And I kind of don't need it. I don't stink.
Interesting. I've never thought about shaving my pits.
Yeah. Cool. World champion, you should.
Of course, undefeated against Ric Flair, world champion, ladies and gentlemen. I pops you every time. That's the reason why I always say it. It's
anybody is, and it deserves to be undefeated against the second greatest living NWA world heavyweight champion of all time.
Bro, it's hysterical. I think it's in Japan or someplace. There's someplace, bro, where they don't recognize My title run in
you
WCW.
serious?
You were mad. Yeah, I swear to God, bro. I think it's Japan. I think in Japan they don't recognize my title run.
What does that even mean? Like, that just goes to show how much it, like, pro wrestling really has its own rules. You know what I mean? Like, that's like Ohio State winning the national championship, which they did, by the way. And then somewhere in like Sweden, it's like, we don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Texas won. What?
Yeah, it was Texas. Yeah. Really interesting stuff. All right, so let's talk about what is on. No, matter of fact, I do have a question for you, EC3. Speaking of BO, do you recall wrestling people with BO in the WWE?
I also, it's a blessing and a curse, is I don't have a great sense of smell. So I'm usually the last one. The only thing I can really smell, which I don't like, is weed. Like, I can smell it like a mile away, but everything else, no. But WWE, no. Everyone's a pro there. But, I mean, I've been in some rank rooms with some stink people, and, yeah, it's filth. Like, you don't want to be like...
What about mom's home cooking? You don't smell, like when mom's cooking, you're not smelling that, bro?
If I'm close enough, I get a whiff. If I walk into the kitchen, I'm like, oh. But if I'm outside, I'm not like... It's not there.
Yeah, interesting.
Is that a result of
probably
wrestling in the ring?
Yeah, I would imagine how many times my nose has been broken, 2 to 3 times at least. That possibly that can deal with it. Maybe I've clogged my nose up with so much stuff too.
Maybe it's that aluminum that you were wearing for so long. Yeah,
bro. When you've broken your nose, like, do they have to reset it? Like, how's that work?
Yeah, actually, TNA. I'm getting the push ski, all right, but I'm on like an exclusive contract where I can do some independent dates, but I had to clear them and things, and one of them I'm just like, I'm gonna go do it. And it was in Vegas, and Willie Mack, this is right before I wrestled Kurt Angle, broke my nose with a super kick. And it was, and like, it's not, it's already kind of wonky as is, but it was just side of my face, and there was this dude, Phil Lebroni, I think he was, like, he's an MMA fighter who was wrestling at the time, and he's like, I can fix that. I'm like, oh, I can't tell anybody, so please do. D'Lo was there, and he was with the office too, and he's like, oh my God, we're all screwed. But brother fixed it, and then I had a big black eye. Up until the day I wrestled Kurt, it was gone, so cool.
So he just like grabbed it and oh my God, bro.
How did that feel when he did that?
Like worse than
did you do like a curling scream?
No, I went, I get pinched, I'll scream, but if it's like physical pain, I laugh a lot too when I'm in pain, but I think that one was just a guttural swallow.
Laughing is another type of response to, like a buffering response or a mitigating response. Yeah, interesting. Well, stories with EC3 sounds like a really cool addition, so I'm sure there's more. So.
Oh yeah, well, I'm writing a book. It's not about my stories, but I reference a few tales in it too. So,
Any any teasers on what the book is about?
What I'm writing, like, it's kind of like, I think like Robert Greene or Jordan Peterson, if they were a way less smart, way more jacked pro wrestler, giving you insane but very tangible and real life advice on your road to success, following your passions. What is your why? Right now, I'm kind of working on what the cost of greatness is. And I actually just wrote about 500 words because I use examples of people on Bret Hart and the cost of greatness. And it turned out pretty cool. So looking forward to
laws of power type of guy, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. All right, let's get into the first order of business here. We got news broke on the Coach and Bro show that Shane McMahon asked for equity in AEW, and then he was ghosted by Tony Khan. With Shane McMahon entering a partnership, have made AEW competitive with WWE. Vince Russo, what say ye?
Well, I don't know about competitive with WWE, but it would have made it a much, much, much better company. I mean, no no question about that, because Shane would have broadened the horizons of that company, more of what the casuals wanted and are looking for. And that's why, like, Tony ain't going to go for that. I said this early on, people, Shane, they thought Shane was going to be like an authority figure. I'm like, no. If Shane's having a conversation, he's interested in either buying. Hold on. What happened to my mic here? Hold on. Yeah. He's interested in either buying a part of the company or buying the company. But bro, Tony Khan ain't never going to give up any kind of control. He's going to run that thing the way he wants to run it. But it would have been a better organization with Shane.
What do you think his reservations are to give someone equity stake of the largest pro wrestling company in the history of pro wrestling, a part of the family, has been doing this for 35 years?
Doesn't want to give up any control, and especially creative control.
But Shane probably wouldn't have majority stake, though. So he
wouldn't have it, but I don't even think Tony wants to hear anybody's ideas.
Really?
I really don't think. I mean, EC3, you agree with that? I mean, bro, we're 6 years. No matter where the numbers go, no matter how attendance dwindles, he's doing the same exact thing.
What do you think, Ace?
I think The Art of the Deal, dare I say, it's a book by the 45th and 47th President of the United States, always talks, and you can see it in the negotiations with the world, the big ask. So in business, you ask for something that's big, to where if you get 30% of your 100%, you probably have a good business deal. So I think Shane, being a smart businessman, he doesn't need money, but equity, skin in the game, is, I think, something very important to a shrewd businessman. And then that therefore leads to him working harder because he wants to see it succeed, because his skin is in the game. So I get that ask. I don't get not responding. Like, if the ghosting is true and official, I think that's just kind of weak and cowardly, because in a business relationship, you negotiate. So here's what I want.
Yep.
If you still want to do business with them, you can go, well, I don't want to do that, but what about this? And then therefore you are negotiating business. I can see not wanting to give up full control, which he probably wouldn't. And I can see within terms dictating a deal where Tony, am the final say of what will take place. But I'd be remiss to say it would not have been a great addition to have Shane's expertise on this sport and the business in some sort of role that helps provide alternative perspectives to what is taking place, because collaboration is the key to great creative. So at the end of the day, if you still have final say, you can do whatever the hell you want, but hearing an outside perspective and a different opinion often leads to better results, because you're thinking of your own stuff in now different ways.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But what do I know?
We know enough to write a book.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Vince, do you think that if, say for instance, if Shane would have had minority stake, right, and he would have had some type of creative control, perhaps some veto power, perhaps. Over under 6 months, for instance, do you think that they would have bumped heads?
Oh God, under. Are you kidding me, bro? Oh my God, yeah. See, bro, that's the problem. Because here's the problem. This is the problem you're faced with. It would have never been a situation where Tony needed Shane's money.
Right.
So right there, if you don't need the guy and you don't need his money, you're never going to make a deal. I mean, you're only going to make that deal if you financially need the backing. He doesn't need the backing, man.
But what about the creative influence to expand your company, though?
He's doing what he wants to do.
EC3. I mean, from what you know and the people you know, does anybody actually feel as if AEW is expanding, or do they think that they're stable enough to float?
I think kind of reminds me of the mentality that I've talked about in the past, which is like, nothing matters. And we'll go do our thing, and maybe it's good, maybe it's not. But the passion to thrive and go to a next level, whatever that may be, which I would think success is dictated on probably appealing to more people in some way. But then I guess a true artist will do what they want. But if people don't like it, then is your art really... You have to do it for yourself. I get both ways. I'm just I hate the ghosting. I just can't get over not having a conversation, or just the inability to say no, or the respect for another man in any line of work, in any field. To not say no to me is just, to say nothing is just terrible man behavior. It's sad to hear that.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
but
give me
say it again.
Give me an effing answer.
Yeah. Yep. No is better than nothing. I say that all the time, man. Say no.
You can't be afraid to say no.
That's right.
But if you're going to say no, say no.
Say no. Say no. Indeed. Don't leave them on red. Just say no. Nope.
Like, I left you on red that time. Never at the end of it.
Oh, I don't allow people to leave me on red. I don't do that.
Absolutely.
I would rather people say no. I don't mind hearing no whatsoever, man. When you leave me on red, though, I'm like, I talked to you after that, and that was a while ago. But yeah, man, if someone leaves me on red, I'm like, look, my schedule is crazy busy. You are not that important to leave me on red. Not at all. Never. But if you're asleep and stuff like that, I get it. It's just not a big deal.
Man, I'm just
What you were.
I know.
It happens. All right, let's Vince. You got something to say there?
No,
I'm
just listening to you guys.
Oh, okay, cool.